Well, hello there friends. My name is Ieva and I am back with the second episode of my What I Read in 2022 series. If you missed yesterday's video, I explained that I got very anxious about the length of this video and I decided to split it into 5 parts and post it each day of this week. In yesterday's video, I talked about these books.
A Fault in Our Stars by John Green, Tower of Dawn by Sarah J. Maas, Silverarum by Kristina Sabalowskaite, The Cabinet of Calm, Soothing Words for Troubled Times by Paul Anthony Jones.
So in this episode we will cover these books: Silverarum 2 by Kristina Sabalowskaite, Orphan Monster Spy by Matt Killeen, Buried Giant by Kazuo Shiguro, Mad About the House by Kate Watson Smith. Without further delay, let's jump back to past Ieva and hear what she thought about those books. Now we're getting into the second book in Silverarum series. If you don't want to hear any spoilers, I would suggest skipping to this bit of the video. Yeah, so I'm not gonna go into a lot of details, but it is unavoidable to talk about this book without actually spoiling what happened in the first book. Honestly, I felt so betrayed when I started reading this book because I was still on a high after reading the first book. I was so excited how the first book ended, and I just really wanted to know more about the characters, about what's gonna happen with them, what's gonna happen in their lives and things like that. And the book started and I was reading about other characters. Honestly, the characters I cared about, they were already old. Some of them were dead and they were only mentioned in memories of other characters, and I just couldn't believe it. I felt so betrayed because I really cared about them. And yeah, there was plague happening in the background of the whole second book, so that didn't give it a lot of joy. It was so morbid. And yeah, I've struggled with the new characters. I don't think I really like any of the new ones, so I don't know where the third book is gonna go, what's going to happen, because everyone who I cared about is basically dead at the end of the second book, so I really don't know. But it still was a delight read. I do really like the style of her writing. I'm gonna repeat myself, but I'm fascinated how she can so flawlessly combine history, real people, with some fictional stuff. It's just so cool. I will definitely read the third book, even though I'm a bit down after reading this one. But I'm really interested where she's gonna bring the series. Am I gonna be able to fall in love with any of the new characters? I really hope so. There's 2 more left in the series, so yeah, I'm sure I'm gonna like them. Here we have another example of gold foiling obsession. This cover was definitely the main reason why I picked up this book. I know people say don't judge book by its cover, but it's impossible to not pick a book up when it has a cover like that. It also has Great Gatsby vibes. This is so cool. And then I was intrigued by the spy element of this book. But yeah, it wasn't what I expected it to be. I sort of thought that it's gonna be spying and just being good at spying, things like that. But the reality of it just felt like anything that's happened to a main character, it happened not because she was a very good spy, but it happened because she was just very lucky. Yeah, nothing really felt like this is because she has a skill to do something. She did have some cool skills, I think she was pretty good at gymnastics, I think she was pretty good at languages, so that helped her. but I don't think that was the main like thing for her success. I believe there might be another book in the series, but I'm not gonna pick it up because I don't really care what's gonna happen and what the characters are going to do. So I'm just gonna leave it as the first book. I think it's okay. The main character is a Jew girl and she ends up in a Nazi school, and her main goal is to become friends with one of the elite German girls. And yeah, she goes through some weird like trials at that school to prove that she is like worth being friends with fancy elite German girls. Just don't know. It didn't like really click with me. It wasn't very hard to read, but yeah, the topic, the overall feel, it's not like very light-hearted because it is Nazi Germany. It is about war. It's about Jew people, and yeah, I don't know why I chose to read this one because it does sound like really sad. But yeah, I was just expecting it to be like thrilling and exciting because anything to do with spies sounded like really interesting and like smart, but this one just lacked a little bit to reach that exciting and smart. Yeah, I still think she was just lucky. This is another book that's in Lithuanian, but originally it wasn't. It's a translation. The original title is The Buried Giant. I have learned how to get books in Lithuanian from the library. That was like the best thing ever. And this was the first book that arrived, and just I felt so emotional when I held it. Don't know, just it's so weird. I really don't know how to explain this because I was already reading books on Kindle in Lithuanian, so yeah, I don't know why it hit me so hard, but it was, I don't know, it just felt so great to hold a physical thing and see my language in it. And also this book is in such a beautiful condition. I don't think anyone has ever read it before me, so it even has the new book smell. So it was an extra nice experience with this book. So I've been eyeing Kazuo Ishiguro for a while. I didn't know anything about this book when I picked it up. I just really wanted to read something by him. And this was such a beautiful fairy tale. Like, I really enjoyed it. It was such a weird book. But I don't know, it just felt like I was reading a beautiful fairy tale with such good like descriptions of scenery, and enough mystery to keep me going and enough weirdness to keep me interested. So that was like really unexpectedly enjoyable. So yeah, it is a bit weird, it is a bit strange, but it's also like magical and like just beautifully written. So the story of the book follows an old couple who decides to visit their son who lives in another town. So they go on to this journey, but the weird thing is that the land where the couple lives in, I think it is England, but it is apparently covered by some sort of strange mist which makes people forget things. So they forget like really important memories. Doesn't matter if they are like cheerful or if they are like really tragic, people just tend to forget. And you could meet someone in one town and meet them again after a while and you wouldn't ever remember that you met them before. That's the mystery. So that makes the couple's quest of finding their son pretty challenging, but they persist, they carry on, they meet other people along the way, there's more mystery going on, and they eventually find out the cause of this mist. That's how much I'm gonna tell you. I really don't want to spoil this book if you want to pick it up because as I said, it's just such a different experience. I really enjoyed it. It was like so beautifully written and like nothing I ever read before. So I would really recommend that one. So yeah, those were the books I read recently. So I'm gonna carry on with this video. I will try and film clips when I finish the book, but I don't know, it took me 5 months to sit down to talk about those books. I don't know, it's so weird. I really enjoy making these videos, but sometimes I just get so anxious of this tiny little device which I'm looking at, and I don't have any explanation why am I so scared of it, because like if I don't like it I can just delete it, so why am I so overwhelmed? I don't know, it's weird. But yeah, hopefully I will pick up this video soon. Gotta read more books then. And I'll speak to you very soon. And this next one was called Mad About the House. I think I'm like mostly like flicked through this book than actually read everything, because I didn't. I just read those chapters that were interesting to me. It was a stunning book and the cover is gorgeous, and you guessed it, it had gold foiling on it. But I also really loved how it looked inside. It was like really well designed, and I loved the hand-drawn illustrations. It was really just beautiful, and I did enjoy author's voice. It was just entertaining to read, and I did learn quite a lot of new things about interior design and renovations, which always have been fascinating to me. So yeah, it was pretty nice. The one thing I learned, which I thought was like genius, was that empty space in your room or in your house in general shows off wealth, because you were able to afford to have that empty space. And I thought that was just simply genius. Before I sign off today, here are the books I will talk about tomorrow. It will be Ghost Bride by Yang-Se Chu, Interworld by Neil Gaiman and Michael Reeves, How to Hate Your Neighbor by Sophie Sullivan, Crooked Kingdom by Lee Bardugo, Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness, and The Little Book of Humanist Weddings by Andrew Cobson and Alice Roberts. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you tomorrow with episode 3. Goodbye!